Hello and welcome back to the channel everyone. Hope you all are well and you're having a nice time. I am back with another video, and in this one I'll run you through the team selection for game week 20. We'll definitely look at some of those picks, some of those potential replacements that you can target in the upcoming game week that might be potential options for the double game weeks that are possible in game week 20 and after that. These players might have good fixtures and they might return you points in those games. So this is what I'm going to talk about. Premier League is obviously 5 to 6 days away from the time I'm recording this. So you can still plan after watching the video and gather some of those important points that I'm going to discuss in this one. And I've had the time to gather my thoughts and look at the straight path and look at what I really need and what my team needs. Obviously, I've had 2 back-to-back red arrows since the start of the Premier League, and that has been somewhat hurtful for me, but definitely it ain't over until I win it. So that is the motto, and we're gonna try to go as much higher as we can in the rank. So meanwhile, if you have not subscribed to the channel already, please do that and help me reach 800 subs sooner. I want to thank you all that we're now officially on 700 subscribers, and that has been a very proud moment for me that you guys have supported me throughout, and from the start I've had love from you guys, and you guys helped me reach such a big milestone that I did not ever thought of. But definitely the dream is big. The dream is to go for 1,000 subscribers and beyond, and that is my goal for this year, and hopefully you guys would help me achieve that. Obviously there will be more and more content coming, and I'm going to try and make the content more better for FPL and for the UCL fantasy, and definitely there will be other leagues like Soria and all the stuff that I cover on the channel. So this is my current motto. Now back to FPL, and looking at the side, I'll start with the goalkeeper like I always do. Now on the bench I've got Kepa. I've definitely benched him, and the reason is simple. Ederson has got a double. Obviously City are not keeping clean sheets, but the goals they've conceded are somewhat the kind of goals that have been pretty extraordinary. That grey finish was exceptional in the game they conceded versus Everton, but they did keep clean sheet versus Chelsea. Definitely that was bound to happen because I benched Ederson and played Kepa. He had the double, and bang, Ederson did end up returning a clean sheet. Jokes apart on that one, I personally think Manchester City are currently in a leaky condition, but they are still a better defensive side, and I personally think that in that Spurs game or probably in the United game, either of those games we could see 1 clean sheet, and that could be 7 or 6 points in one game and 2 points, so 8-pointer that is predicted from Ederson in the double game week he has, and hopefully we can see that on the Kepa bench is it is inevitable due to even if he has a good fixture, the current form Chelsea is in, I don't think they are looking bright, and they are looking potential looking at the current form and the way they are playing under the new manager. Now that would be my goalkeeper. Moving on to the defense. Now I've got a problem in defense, and that is I'll start right away with Reece James. I currently own Reece James. I haven't taken him out because whenever I plan to take him out, there are some other fires to put out in my team, and that is something I've been struggling with currently. So Reece James is injured. He's definitely not gonna play. That is an orange exclamation or the alert sign. I actually forgot to changed it, and that has to be red. That is because he's not available for a month. So Reece James is out. He's definitely not gonna play. So that is why he's he's on that alert sign or the graphic that I actually created and forgot to change it in red. But never mind. Looking at Trippier now. Trippier faces Fulham at home, and that is one potential fixture. We saw how good Newcastle are defensively. They kept Arsenal quiet. Obviously the game was a full 50-50 game where both the teams did play pretty well, but I personally think that Newcastle have really evolved, and I think moving for Trippier was one of the best moves that I did from the start of the season, and even after in the wild card that we picked after the World Cup. So Trippier has to be one of those essential assets that return you points, that attracts those bonus points inside your final points or inside your team. So Trippier stays in. Now Ben White, who faces Spurs at away, could be one of those potential defenders who might return you a clean sheet if it's his day. So I'm not expecting a clean sheet in that game, because we've seen Spurs suddenly change gears and become a good attacking side, and that might be one of those things that might hurt Arsenal. But I think overall Arsenal is a better side, and Arsenal might defeat Spurs in the fixture they have. But I'm not expecting a clean sheet from Arsenal's defense, and with the likes of Harry Kane back in form. So this would be my current defense. I've got Bueno on the bench. If I do need him, I definitely bring him in. If I'm not taking out James, I definitely play Bueno. Shaw faces Manchester City, so yeah, he clearly sits on the bench in that game for me. I wouldn't want to risk out on points. Like, I might risk in playing Bueno but not Shaw, and the reason is that I fully expect Shaw to lose his clean sheet. There is no probability that he might return me a clean sheet in that game with Manchester City back in form and Haaland, hungry for goals. So that would be, my predictability or my, prediction on that. So this is how my defense is going to look like. Now, obviously, this is before the changes. I've got 2 free transfers, and I'm going to discuss my transfer plans at the end too. Who would be my potential moves and who would be the players that I would go for. Looking at the midfield, I've got Rashford in. I'm pretty satisfied with Rashford. He's in form. I think he's going to hurt City. He might be one of those players who might be able to hurt City with the form he's in. If he goes big, he's definitely going to be on the score sheet, as we've seen him really evolve well under Erik ten Hag. So Rashford stays in to face Manchester City. Saka has been lucky with the goals he's got, but still he's one of those players who gets into good positions. He's good at finishing. Definitely he'd be on the penalty duties. If Arsenal gets some penalties, I think Saka might be the one who's going to net them in. So he stays in. I think he's a good potential option, and I'm pretty satisfied with Saka. Coming back to Almiron, I've already, definitely, had high hopes from him after he started returning those points. But definitely the price he's being offered at, I think he has done his part. Even if he scores more goals, that would definitely be a bonus. But at the price he was being offered at and the price that I brought him in, he's definitely done his part. Now he's had a slight dip in form. He hasn't scored in the previous game or the previous one before that. But I still think Almiron might be, if you do not have any of those, budget options, I think you might definitely hold on to Almiron. But if you've got money in the bank, there are possible options that you can look at. You can double up with Arsenal in the midfield, as Arsenal midfielders are returning points. So in this one specifically, Almiron faces Fulham, so I'm going to hold him in this fixture because Fulham is definitely not a tough defensive side. So I'm going to hold him, but definitely in the upcoming game weeks, Almiron is one player that I'm currently looking at to move out from my side and probably go to Odegaard or someone like Martinelli. So versus Fulham, he stays in my side. And now looking at KDB has been disappointing so far since the time I brought him in. He's not playing pretty well since his return from Belgium, and we've seen him losing balls. He's misplacing those passes. That charm that he used to carry is currently missing from his game. But he's one of those players who might bounce back in any time, and probably he'll bounce back the time I take him out from my side, because when he's out of my side, he's assisting, he's scoring. And the moment I bring him in, he's not gonna do all that, and he'll definitely stop doing all those things the moment I bring him in. But jokes apart, KDB has a double game week. I definitely say hold on to him, and the potential doubles against Man United. Obviously, Man United has evolved, but still they might leak goals against a tough side that is Manchester City, and Spurs already a leaky side. So definitely this is a good fixture. Hopefully KDB returns in this one, so we won't have a problem of taking him out, because definitely there is Mo Salah and he's not in in a form that has to be talked about. So there are KDB owners and there are Salah owners, and both of them are not happy with their performances so far. So I'd still hold on to KDB for these doubles, and then we'll look at ahead whatever happens, we'll look at things accordingly and whatever plans we have to make considering KDB's performance. Now one more midfielder I've got on the bench. I forgot to mention Andreas. He'll stay on the bench in that game against Newcastle, because Newcastle I personally think are a tough defensive side, and I'm not expecting Fulham to score in that game. Now we look at the forwards. I've got Anthony Martial starting currently in the starting lineup against Manchester City. That is because Manchester City has been leaky, but Martial hasn't been consistent with his scoring, with his performing. He has been he gets into good positions sometimes, but he's not one of those clinical players. I mean, if he gets 4 chances, there is a probability he might score 1, but in games where he gets only 2 chances, he's not among the scoring points, I'm not among the assists. He's not nowhere near the scoring sheet, and that is something that did hurt me in the previous game week and in game week 18 when he did not score. So a 2-pointer in the upcoming game weeks would hurt my rank more. So Martial is someone I'm currently looking to move out from my side. Now we look at Haaland. Obviously he's got that striker badge. He captain my side once again, and definitely I'll keep Haaland for any double. Haaland is a must own, and there's definitely no reason, even if he blanks 5 times in a row, there is absolutely no reason why I would want to take out Haaland from my side. Coming back to the forwards, and now looking at the exact opposite of Erling Haaland, Darwin Nunez. Darwin Nunez has been one of those picks who has frustrated me to a point where I wanted to rage transfer him out from my team, but I did not. I held my nerves and I wanted him to go once again against Leicester and probably give me points, and because he did get into some good chances, good positions, but Darwin Nunez is Darwin Nunez. He's going to miss those chances. He's going to make me a heart patient at the end if I continue owning him. So for my health and for my own sake, I would want to take out Darwin Nunez from my side. He's one of those players who gets those good chances. He has had most big chances. He gets into good positions. He can pass well. He can run well. But the only thing he can do is finishing, and that has hurt my rank a lot so far since the time I've owned Nunez. A couple of times he did give me a little boost to the rank when he scored 2 goals in that game and that 1 assist to Mo Salah that he made in couple of games back. So that was the only time. But Nunez, I mean, he's a costly player, and if you keep a player like around, I guess he's 9.8 or 9.6 as far as I remember. So if you keep a player of that caliber in your side and he scores after 4 games or 5 games, that is definitely going to hurt your rank. So Darwin Nunez has to move out from my side, but this is currently what my side is looking like. A 3-4-3 before the 2 transfers. I've set up my side like this, and I'm going to show you the transfers that I'm currently looking at the end of the video. Obviously this video is going to be a little bit longer, so hold on to it. Now what I'm going to talk about is the most asked questions, the potential options to move out from Mo Salah or KDB to some of the potential midfielders. Now, reminding you again, I would ask you to hold KDB. I mean, if he blanks, we're gonna cry together because I'm with you on this one. I've held KDB, but if we look at things from a sensible point of view, he has a double and you should hold him for the double. I'm not saying the returns are guaranteed, but you should hold him for the double game week. Now, as for Mo Salah, I've picked up some of the potential options that I'm going to talk about right now with you, so you can replace him, or you can monitor these players to make them a possible replacement for Mo Salah. So now on your screen are the potential options that can be the Mo Salah replacement. First one is definitely as you can see is Saka from Arsenal at 8.1 million. He's got Spurs first, then Man United, then Everton, and then Brentford and Manchester City. A double game week, definitely a double game week. So firstly, Saka has been one of those players that have evolved under the system that Arteta has imposed at Arsenal. He has been their main man. He has been among those scoring runs. He has been among those points. So at 8.1 million, I think Saka is a good 8.1 million midfielder who can return you points in intervals, and when he's in form, he's going to return you points, in back-to-back game weeks, and we've seen this thing, during the past few game weeks too, that Saka has to be one of those main man for Arsenal that is among the points. Now, if you're not keen on Saka, you can definitely look at Odegaard at 7 million. Or definitely they've got the same fixtures, but Odegaard has been a big differential. Now, a lot of players did went for him over Martinelli, and that did return well for them. He's getting into those good positions. He's among those good. He's among those points. He's providing those assists. He can score, and we've seen him playing the free role under Arteta's system. and he's playing that pretty well. He goes into the box, he comes back to defend, he's all over the pitch among those attacking returns and among those, goals too. So at 7 million, he can be one of those players you might downgrade to from Salah and reinvest the leftover budget into your forwards, probably someone like Harry Kane, or you can definitely make your midfield a stronger one. Then there is at 6.3 million, you can see Rodrigo from Leeds, who I think could be a potential option. He's a perfect template breaker, and he usually is among those attacking points, and he's got a good set of fixtures coming up, as you can see on screen. And then definitely we've got Bruno Fernandes at 9.8 million. He's an expensive option in the list, in one of those expensive options in that list, of definitely one of those picks that is cheaper than Mo Salah. But I personally think that things are going to evolve, considering Bruno Fernandes, as Ronaldo has left, he is going to be their main man. Currently it's Rashford, but in the midfield I personally think Bruno's game would improve. He's going to be their main man. He did get an assist in the previous game, and I think things are going to improve with Bruno Fernandes. Now you can definitely look at Eriksen too, another differential, but I personally think I would prefer Bruno Fernandes over him for a punt. So these are my Mo Salah replacements. I forgot to write the names up, but obviously you guys would definitely know all of them. So at 8.1 million, we've got Saka. At 7 million, we've got Odegaard. At 6.3 million, we've got Rodrigo from Leeds, and at 9.8 million, we've got Man United. We've got Bruno Fernandes from Man United. So hopefully you like these new graphics, and I'm going to make some improvements in them. And definitely let me know if you want to see these, if you want to see these replacements and these sort of graphics and these sorts of additional segments in the videos that I usually make weekly. And now the most awaited part, and we're going to move on to my transfer plans for game week 20. So this is currently how my team is looking like. Let me just quickly switch back to Chrome, so hopefully it is visible to all of you. And I've got Arrizabalaga and Ederson, they're going to stay in goal. I've got Ben White, who I will definitely retain. Then Reece James is someone I would have to take out from my side, but currently I'm going to lose value on him, and I'm somewhat satisfied with that. I've got Ben White, I've got Trippier and Bueno to play. Bueno at 3.9 million is a starter under Lopetegui. Lopetegui is imposing a good system at Wolves that I've been seeing. There are some changes in their system. They are playing pretty good football, and I think that if you want to go a little bit differential, you might want to invest in Wolves defense. I think in decent games they might return you clean sheet points. That is my prediction, and definitely you can hold me accountable for this specific part if they do not return you clean sheets in that point, because then I would really question my judgment too. But jokes apart, I think that Lopetegui's system is much more of a defensive system than their attacking system. But I personally think that Wolves might get better defensively, and they might get better in shape in the upcoming game weeks. Now I'm pretty satisfied with my defense. I might play Trippier, Shaw, Bueno and White whenever I want. I've got a good four defenders, good four starting defenders in my side, apart from Reece James, who's injured, and definitely I would have to take him out. So as far as the goalkeepers and defenders are concerned, I'm pretty satisfied. Now moving on to the midfield, the only player that I'm considering selling is Almiron, but I would still give him the Fulham game. Now we look at the two strikers that I'm currently looking to move out from. Darwin Nunez definitely has to go. I'm done with looking at him miss chances every game, and the possible option that I have is Harry Kane. Now there is no specific reason to tell you why I want to own Harry Kane. He's got a possible double in the upcoming game week, Arsenal and then Man City. Then he faces Fulham, then he faces Manchester City again. Obviously he's got a good record against City too. He scores a better record against City too than the other game, but in the Arsenal game he's got a good record. He always scores against Arsenal. That has been his record so far. And then we've got he's got Leicester, another weakly defensive side, West Ham United, a defensively weaker side, Chelsea, Wolves, Nottingham Forest. So these are all the games where I would want to have a potential forward, and a player like Harry Kane could be the one who might return me good points and might be one of those differentials to give me points and give me a huge rank boost. A lot of people are going to move for Harry Kane, but hopefully they would still need time to sort out their bank and stuff. If you've got a good team value, you can definitely jump onto Harry Kane right now. But now I'm in minus 1.5, and the other player that I would definitely have to sacrifice from my side would be him, Martial, and I'm gonna go for Evan Ferguson straightforward. Now Ferguson might be a surprise to you, but he has been playing so far, and you can see he has been involved. I mean, he's not a guaranteed starter, but he still has, he played 70 and returned a goal and an assist. Then he played 30 before that and he returned a goal. So Ferguson has been playing pretty well. I mean, he's not a guaranteed starter, but at 4.5 million, a player playing and returning you points is somewhat alright. I'm definitely going to bench him later on, but at 4.5 million, still I'm getting a person who's playing, and they might have a chance of a possible double. So he might not start both games, but definitely a potential player for the double who is in good form and is scoring. So these are the two moves that I'm currently looking at. Now, if I don't want to, make these moves, I might just let me just reset this. Another potential stuff that I might look at could be I just take out James from my side, double up on Newcastle, because I think they're playing pretty well, and I've still got 2.5 million in the bank. Definitely I can't move on to Harry Kane because he's 11.6. So Darwin stays in my side, and I can just take out Almiron from my side and make a double up of Arsenal here. I still have 1.6 million in the bank. I can definitely move away from Martial or anyone that I would like in the upcoming game weeks. So these are the two moves that I'm currently looking at, but I'm more favoring towards that Harry Kane and Ferguson move, because I got Harry Kane for the doubles. I'm going to retain him and then deal with Almiron and James later on. Almiron still has a potential game. So yeah, these two would be my current moves. These two would be my go-to moves for game week 20. So yeah, this is currently it from my side. I mean, this is a longer video than usual. We've gone for like 21 minutes or 22 minutes as long as I remember. So hopefully you guys got some information from it, some necessary information from it. Let me know what are your plans, what are you currently looking at, and how are you intending to break the template and get that rank boost that we all really need after the World Cup. So let me know your plans below, and let me know who would be your captaincy option in game week 20. So this currently is from my side. Please do subscribe to the channel, and thank you all for watching.